What up, everybody? Welcome back to the channel, the Dark Wind channel, where we're going to blow you away with the darkest winds imaginable. I'm your host, She, and this is my co-host, Kage. We're here to talk to y'all today about
Kang the Conqueror.
Hey, you took my thunder.
I'm sorry.
I'm just giving him a smooth ass vibe.
Just to let y'all know, every intro that we do not script any of this stuff. We just come with it from the top of our heads. We feel like it's a little bit more funnier that way than just having like stuff that's scripted for right now. But probably when we get a little bit more popular and got more stuff, we can have people write scripts for us. We'll probably write scripts. But right now, we just doing stuff off the top of our heads just to have fun. Just what the YouTube channel is about. Our channel is about having fun, enjoying ourselves. But like I said, being rude, like I always am. We're talking about Kang the Conqueror from Marvel. It's kind of a special request that we're doing this video. Grim, aka She's student, asked him to do it, and didn't he give you a figure?
Let me get Kang out for you guys.
You should have had him with you already.
Well, I gotta go far.
Oh.
Don't be disrespectful. Here he is, guys. The blue-faced, time-traveling.
And it's weird because looking at it, it's not the original Kang. It's the Kang from the movie.
Yeah.
So, just a little bit tidbit from the Marvel counterpart to the movie counterpart. The movie counterpart of Kang had some of his backstory correct when it comes to him being a tyrannical overlord and want to destroy everything. That was right. Now, I don't know who's seen the movie, but we'll talk about that part later. Right now, we're going to do a brief history or summary about Kang the Conqueror. I didn't even know Grim left. This is very where you go?
I'll be back, guys. You go ahead and continue. It is only gonna take me a minute.
I mean, you doing it okay? Like all right. So anyway, like I was saying, the Marvel version of Kang the Conqueror is a little bit more in depth into the comics. He's more of a iconic villain for the Avengers. He's not as, you could say, as popular or threat level as Thanos is. But he is like one of the top two Marvel Avengers villains. He's up there with Thanos. He's but I'm just trying to ramble on till Grim gets back, cause I don't want to steal his thunder, cause I know this was, what the heck happened? What? Oh, I was about to say. Anyway.
Still here, ladies and gentlemen. I'm still here. I came back. I just had to get the charger for my laptop because it was dying. So I didn't want to have it all go out on you guys. So
You should have took care of all that before we started this, sir.
Hey. Shut up.
Yes, I'm being fat eating chips. If my friend
I was
Jeremy would have said was on here, he would have been like, "It's the chicken fiasco all over again."
I don't know about that fiasco. I'll demand you tell me about it later.
I'll tell you about
guys,
it.
Let's get to the Kang the Conqueror. Sorry, take me a while. I got the computer charging now as we speak. Okay. Whew. Lord have mercy.
Anyway, just start off. I didn't want to tell him any specific information until you got back.
Okay, so as you saying, Kang is a supervillain. He's matching Thanos to a certain degree. He can take out Thanos on certain occasions. Now, if it was a one-on-one battle, he's not taking on Thanos. It's not happening like that. Thanos, no, no, no version of Kang is taking out Thanos.
Yeah.
It's not, no.
Because I don't mean to cut you off, but a lot of people just don't understand. They think movie Thanos is the strongest one. To be honest, comic and cartoon version of Thanos is the strongest ones out of all his variants that they show with Thanos. Thanos doesn't need the Infinity Gauntlet to kick anyone's booty. To be honest, he's extremely smart, strong, a strategist, and when it comes to Thanos, he's I don't know if you want to consider him a god per se. I don't know, but we're not gonna go on Thanos right now. It's about Kang. We'll probably make a video about Thanos if people want us to finish this series or do a series about on Marvel characters and stuff like that.
Yeah.
But my name is Kang.
Kang the Conqueror is a supervillain who was created by Marvel and by Marvel Comics by Stan Lee and Jack Kirby. He first appeared in Avengers #8, y'all. And he's mostly depicted as the opponent of the Avengers and the Fantastic Four.
Mm-hmm.
Kang has gone by several names: Immortus, Iron Lad, Rame Toots, Scarlet Centurion, the Master of Time, but his most iconic is Kang the Conqueror. Your man was born on Earth, but not I want to say the prime Earth because I can't remember what Earth the Earth that everything usually takes place in when we watching, Marvel and everything. There's several different Marvel.
I think their prime. I think if you go really by the comics, I think they're Earth 42, which is supposed to be the prime Earth, because that's where all the original characters are.
Prime Earth is #1.
Yeah, I can't remember. Marvel and them did so many rewrites of many what's the word I want to say? It's on the tip of my tongue. Not rewrites, but they did so many reboots to the comics that the original Earth, I think, is now in the comics is actually Earth 42 that has like everybody in it. That's the original. I don't know. I have to get back into reading comics. If I would have to ask one of the. I'll have to do research to find out for y'all. Maybe next time.
But for the little research the research I've had done on Kang, so I do know his birth universe. He was born on Other Earth, Earth 6311, between the 31st and 40th centuries. So your man was born with all the best tech. When you could actually sit there and put on a helmet and sit there and go into a video game and sit there and be your character and experience the world of magic and anything you want and other sci-fi type of bull crap. That tattoo acknowledge you need to hurry up and invent.
No.
I need it.
You watch anime and you haven't learned nothing?
Of course I watched the anime and I've learned everything. That's why I'm gonna wait till everybody get there till they get out the kinks. I ain't stupid. I wait like 7 years before this all done. I'll wait. Anyway.
Yeah, like Grim's saying, he's from a futuristic Earth that's above beyond all the other Marvel Earths. Fun fact, he is related to Reed Richards from the Fantastic Four and also Doctor Doom. I think they just now actually said how he's related to him, but I know in past variations they was just like he's related to both of them, and they didn't give a great explanation of how and why. but he's like the great great grandson of Reed Richards, and the only
No,
reason,
he's not
not the
politically
great
correct.
great, right? It's what is it?
No, he's not even the grandson. So this is how it is. With Kang's, he's not a direct descendant of Reed Richards. Well, as everyone knows, Mr. Fantastic, but he is actually the descendant of Reed Richards' half brother Arthur,
Mm-hmm.
and which basically makes Reed his
Uncle.
great uncle. So he is related to Reed Richards, y'all, but not, and he's not a direct descendant. That's what you got to keep in mind. He is not a direct descendant of Reed Richards. But Kang's ultimate goal is like basically to conquer all of time, all of space. He wants to alter any time and timeline, including his own, to accomplish his goals, posing a threat to any reality he basically encounters, y'all. Like he's literally a multiversal threat. But even though he's a multiversal threat, don't think like he has cosmic energy powers and he's gonna be doing stuff like Galactus or Silver Surfer or Thor or he's not doing anything like that. Like he's literally a regular human being. The only reason he is so strong is because your man is a technological genius. He's a pure technological engineer, and he is in his time. I believe he is one of the top leading minds in all forms of technology. So from computers down to nanotech, like he has it all down pat. He even knows genetic. He even learned about genetic basically gene therapy.
Mm-hmm.
He learned how to with the human gene and stuff like that or other species. Your man has an army that spans the entire galaxy in his original timeline. He is a beast in his own right. Do not get your man Kang wrong. Now, don't get me wrong. He is. I mean, he can fight. Like, yeah, but I mean, we're not gonna call him Batman though out here. We're gonna call him go that far.
Yeah. The only thing I think, if you're new to knowing about Kang the Conqueror, and if you watch the movies, well, Quantum Realm, they had got some things wrong. Um, yeah, Kang has went to other of his other variants to destroy their worlds, but he actually likes, in the comics and TV shows, he actually goes there and tries to recruit them first before he wants to destroy them. And another thing from the movies, Kang is normally calm, cool, and collected. The movies had him having a huge, which I hated, to be honest. If you know Marvel, I'm a huge Marvel fan. When it came to the movie Kang, they had him have the biggest attitude anger management problem that I have ever seen in any type of media, and it wasn't him. Kang is normally calm, cool, and collected. He does have anger issues, but it wasn't to the point where he just starts blowing up everything. He's more of a
Yeah, he's
strategist
not
when it comes to
now.
he's more of a strategist when it comes to things, and he doesn't let his anger get to him. Now he does sometimes, but the way that they had him in the movies, and that in that movie, you can tell that he was about to lose because his anger just went to the point where you just doing dumb stuff, so you just go to lose. Um, another
He was big Kylo Ren.
yeah, another thing about Kang the Conqueror, it doesn't matter which variant it is or which Kang it is, he is afraid of Iron Man, not Ant Man, not nobody else. It's Iron Man. To him,
don't tell me why just yet, because first we got to get into his powers and everything to understand for him to understand why he's so afraid of Tony Stark.
Yes. Go
So
ahead. That's where you will go ahead and do the powers, and then I will talk about Tony Stark.
okay, so we're gonna do this. This is a power range out of 0 to 10. Okay, right? So his durability is a 5. It's not that strong, you know. He can get ripped by he can basically get ripped in half easily by Captain America, you know.
The Hulk.
Uh, Hulk, that's we on. Don't do that to him. Don't do that to King. Don't put him up against the monster. He is not ready. Though he
Well,
has taken a Hulk.
well,
He's taken a
technically,
Hulk, and he has only one time, but he's only caused Hulk retreat momentarily. He has never actually like straight up beat Hulk in a one-on-one fight. Like no, he's not stupid.
when it comes
He's
to the
not.
Hulk, no offense, not to switch past the subject. 9 times out of 10, most of the Marvel universe can't take the Hulk down. It's only certain characters, but they have to know how the Hulk thinks and knows what his powers are. So we'll talk about that later if people want us to continue about this. But yeah,
His energy level is a 6 out of 10. His fighting skills is a 4. I told you he's not Batman level. No, he's not. We're not giving this man a 9.5 to 10 out of 10. Your man is your man barely good enough to fight a street thug. Like he not out here dodging shurikens. He's not a ninja. Now this is the sad part. His intelligence is a 4. Now you might think, okay, how is his intelligence a 4 if he's supposed to be so smart in engineering and robotics? You can be smart engineering and robotics, but it don't make you a genius. You're just an expert in that field.
mm-hmm. And he's one of them characters that lets his ego gets the best of him.
Yeah.
Now, when we say that, you can be like, well, what about Tony Stark and all them others? The difference between Tony and Kang, Tony can back his, excuse my French, back his shit up. Kang, if he doesn't have, well, I'm gonna let Grim finish telling you it. If he doesn't have certain objects, he's not winning nothing.
Yeah. So his speed is a 7, and then, like I said, I get to what that is, and his strength is a 4. Yeah, let's not in the Marvel universe. That's pretty high on the human level, but that's not all that. Okay. So now that you know all of that, let's get into what his abilities actually are. Kang's power is actually a suit and a chair. Now this suit, I'm gonna show you again. This is pretty much one of the forms of his suit. You know, this is it. He has to have a cape, but I mean, I agree with Edna Mode. No capes. You know, capes are hideous. But you know, this is a suit. You know, the helmet. You know, the Magneto helmet covering, but mostly nothing but the face. You know, yeah. Anyway,
I mean, they changed him because technically he don't have no cape, and his helmet is more of a not a football, but more like a, I don't know. I have to show you a old. I don't know. It's kind of weird how they Marvel does too much when they want to reboot stuff.
Yeah, but so his suit. Okay, so but his suit it houses all of his powers, and he gets his time travel abilities from his suit and his chair. They allow him to literally hop multiple timelines. So basically, if you think with the multiverse, you're not. It's not just different timelines. These are also different universes in themselves, but also different timelines inside the multiverse. So it, it's hard to understand, but it's easy to understand if you get what I'm trying to say.
Mm-hmm.
So he can there's multiple timelines. He can even use his suit to connect to his chair to see into the future and see into multiple futures to see basically how to defeat his enemy. See, so that's what makes Kang. That's one of the things that makes Kang so dangerous. So his suit gives him superhuman strength. He's able to lift 5 tons max, speed, endurance, ability to generate energy projectiles. He can use them offensively or defensively. So if you think like Dragon Ball Z offensively, and if you're thinking defensively, still Dragon Ball Z, because you know Android 17. If you guys know who that is, you know I don't know how many of you know who that is, but yeah, that's what I'm talking about. And besides him being an expert in time travel, he could actually manipulate time too. So he can even possibly, because of his suit, he can possibly slow down time or even speed up to make himself look like a blur. So to you, you're moving. You think you're moving at, like, say if you're let's say you're Thor. Now, mind you, we all know Thor's a god or whatever like that, and Thor is. I can't remember if he's immune to time travel, so we're just going to say he's right now. He's not.
Let me think.
Not time travel per se, but like time manipulation. Because
If
there's
he
actual.
has, it's weird because if he doesn't have Mjolnir, he's not. But if he does, he does have it. Thor is a very weird case because some of his abilities come from him wielding his hammer, and it's not saying that he's that's the source of his powers. Thor's powers is more than just the god of thunder. From what Death Battle had went into, I have to look at it again, but Thor is more of a natural nature force.
Yeah, but anyway, we'll like I said, anyway, but that's beside the point. We'll get back to Thor another time. We, like I said, if y'all want us to continue this, we will. But I'm just saying, like, if he was to manipulate, now Thor's not slow at all. Thor can literally travel from one point of the universe to the other at full speed in literally under an hour.
With Mjolnir and that flying mess.
If he's that fast, remind you, Kang uses time manipulation. He can manipulate time. So even with him flying that fast, if Kang wanted to freeze time instantly before Thor has a chance to even touch him, we're just saying this is just a possibility. We're not going to say this is a definite. And literally walk around behind Thor. Now to Thor, it looks like all of a sudden Kang's there and then he's not. And all of a sudden he's getting swung by his foot into a building. Now, you are there, okay, if Thor is that fast, how is he able to do this? Now, like I said, Kang had, because of his suit and his chair does not have to be near him for him to connect to it. But I'm guessing it has to be still within a certain vicinity of him. He is able to look through multiple timelines to see what a possible outcome can possibly happen. So, remind you that timelines, many things happen that'll be similar, but there'll be many things that'll be different. So he uses that to his advantage in order to fight his opponents. So saying he'd be able to see that's happening, like, oh, okay, Thor's about to do this, bing, snap, come behind him, take Thor by his foot, use that momentum that Thor has and swing his man into a building. Now, mind you, like I said, he can lift 5 tons, so he'd be able to swing Thor pretty easily. Thor's not, I mean, he's a big man and he's a god, but I mean, he's not, he doesn't weigh 5 tons. I mean, come on now, he's not that heavy. Mm-hmm. His weapons include a gravitito electromagnetic force field, basically a force field so strong it's able to stop a nuke. Mm-hmm. He has vibrator rejector array, an antimatter defense screen generator, electromagnetic field amplifier, a neutrino ray warhead missile launcher, electric paralysis generator, nerve gas sprayer, molecular expander, anti-graviton particle projectiles, and his gauntlets. and that's his weapons. So most of that, I'm not even going to try to explain. It's a lot. Just know his weapons make him strong enough to take.
The Avengers down.
Yeah, he can take the Avengers down. Let's just say that. Now the perks that come with his suit, it has a waste disposal system, so he ain't gotta he don't gotta if he's in the middle of a fight, he gotta pee and poop, he can just let it go. And the suit take care of it.
That's
Like your man could be just, oh yeah, I'm about to punch you, Iron Man, and there we go. That was a nice pop right out of that thing. You know, just imagine. Or he's sitting here and he's fighting Captain America, and you know, they going blow for blow. He's like, crap, I gotta poop, crap. Let me just go ahead and poop. You know, and he just dodging blows, and he just take a whole deuce. And don't ask me. I don't know how the suit handles that, and I'm not going to begin to try to answer the question to that.
Well, you got a suit from the year. What year is he from again?
Somewhere between the 31st and 40th century.
Okay, well, you got a suit from that era. Anything's possible. Okay, I'm pretty sure it got a built-in phone hooked to his head that if he think of a phone call, he can call the person.
Yes, it does.
Yeah. So
he has. The suit has built-in food supply. I don't know how much. It has a self-contained atmosphere. So basically, if he wants to, he can just go into the vacuum of space and be just perfectly fine. Because his suit literally generates an atmosphere for him to breathe. A literal atmosphere. Now, for you, let me explain to you guys what that means. If Earth didn't have an atmosphere, it would basically be Mars.
oh Lord.
Because we have an atmosphere, we have all these different layers, the photosphere and all those other spheres around this Earth. That makes up our atmosphere. That helps keep our clouds and everything, the water, all of that, all nice and beautiful and pretty for us to look at every day. His suit generates that. The power it takes to generate that is, I don't know. But and remind you, he still had for it to generate that much power, to generate a self-contained atmosphere, and still have power to have all of his weapons fully powered and take out the Avengers. I mean, come on now, this is so powerful. I mean, it's Iron Man level, because this is stuff Iron Man would have. Now, I'm still not going to ask how he would set his suit up like that. I'm just not going to ask. No, we're not going to get into that. We know he has technology.
Why his suit is set up like that? Because to be honest, if y'all don't remember, if y'all didn't forget, I told you how he's afraid of Iron Man. He also idolizes Iron Man. So, to be honest with you, most of the stuff that his suit can do, or has the way his suit is around, and especially with his chair, is simply because he used a lot of Tony Stark's designs and a lot of his prototypes to stuff. The reason why I say that is because in the time frame that he is in, Tony Stark Iron Man is a lot different from the Iron Man that we know of. He technically did save the world and all that, and he has his own school and all that other type of stuff. And Kane idolized him. So a lot of his tech comes from Iron Man's tech. But the reason why Kang is afraid of Iron Man is afraid of him is because even though his tech is from the future, but because of how smart Tony Stark is, all he has to do is all Tony has to really do is look at it or get a scan from Jarvis on Kang's tech, and Iron Man automatically knows how to use it. He doesn't need no manual or anything. If he can just get into Kang's chair, hook up his Iron Man suit, have Jarvis scan it, he can take complete control of the chair, what Kang's suit can do, anything.
His
So
entire armada. To remind you, his armada is vast. It stretches across the. Now, I'm pretty sure by this time, I don't know how. It's comic books people, but that's a few thousand years.
mhm,
So I'm guessing by now, at least. I know they haven't, but at least the Andromeda Galaxy and the Milky Way Galaxy are coming close to being very close to colliding. Because that still holds even in the comic book theory world. That those two galaxies are moving together. Now remind you, he has conquered this entire galaxy, our entire galaxy. That's huge. But even then, that's still so small. That's a small galaxy in a vast universe, and he wants to conquer it all, people. He wants it all to himself.
he wants
He
the
wants
galaxy. He
everything
wants the
to
multiverse. He wants
He
everything.
wants to be Lord Frieza, the king of the universe, the emperor, the almighty, the all-powerful Lord Frieza. But no, he's not as cool as Frieza. I'm sorry. He would never be as cool as Frieza. Because Frieza always had the swag. I don't care. Frieza was the best DBZ villain. But we're not talking about Frieza right now.
Stupid monkeys.
I'm going to write about Frieza, but we're not going to do that right now.
Yeah, please don't get him to start.
Kang is one of those guys where he just wants everything to be under him. He has his army consists of mutants, robots, androids, various civilizations that he's conquered throughout his time of ruling the entire galaxy.
That's afraid of him.
He's made he's completely decimated world. Like he's not Galactus level. We're gonna keep this in mind. He is not Galactus level. Galactus will wipe the floor with him and his entire armada easily. Because if Galactus wanted to, Galactus can grow bigger than the Milky Way and consume it in its entirety. But he's not going to do that. He's not. So, Kang stays away from Galactus. He stays away from Thanos. Because, now you might find this interesting. What happened to Kang when Thanos snapped his fingers when he had the Infinity Gauntlet and half the universe was gone? Kang was still alive, technically, because technically he didn't. He existed in that timeline at that time, but he was not from that timeline. And he knew what Thanos was doing. Now, he could have easily stopped Thanos from doing that, but why do that?
And not easily, because the man was banished. If we're talking about from what happened in the movies, he was banished to the quantum realm, and he couldn't even use half of his powers because Hank Pym's wife did something that caused his one of his devices to not be able to work because it was stuck in stasis. That's why I say if you haven't watched the movie, it's an okay movie to watch, but it's not going to give you everything you need to know about Kang the Conqueror. And another reason why I say that I'm not joshing Ant-Man. I do like him a little bit. I am a little bit of a fan. But when you have someone who is as strong and as mighty and as evil as Kang, I don't see it to the point that you have Ant-Man, the man who can turn big and as small as an ant and still have the strength, or as big as a giant and have ant strength, who's not even Hank Pym, but someone else, go against Kang the Conqueror and still win without no detriment. I mean, any serious issues going on, any pain, any like life threatening, like someone should have, no offense, died in that movie because of dealing with Kang. It's not the best iteration to go ahead and base your sources off of him. One TV show is, it came out like in the 2000s. I watched it. Is a good way to understand a little bit more about Kang, because they had a little bit of a season for him. It's called Marvel's, not Marvel Avengers, but it's let me look it up. But it was on Disney, but it's on Disney Plus now, and it's called Marvel. As soon as I look onto my account and look it up, I can tell you what it is. But it is an actual good show when it's talking about the Avengers. It's one of their early little cartoon shows that they had. Marvel Avengers.
Earth's mightiest hero.
I think that, yep, that's what it was. Marvel's Avengers Earth's Mightiest Heroes. When they had a awesome theme song. But that was one of the very first TV shows that had like really, they wanted to bring the Avengers into the spotlight before they did. It was doing it when they were doing the Captain America movies and stuff. And Kang was one of the seasoned villains. And you kind of got a good aspect of how he was, like how his character really was, like during that time period when Stan Lee was alive. Rest in peace to the GOAT. Whenever they had anything dealing with like Marvel, they had to get Stan Lee's approval for mostly every single thing. Every single thing when it came to Marvel, Stan Lee's contract is that he had to have every single say so, because it was his work that they're basing stuff off of, and he had to have a cameo. So yeah, it's just,
It's always funny in his cameos. I like that scene sitting there talking to the Watchers while sitting on the moon in a spacesuit. That was hilarious. That was freaking hilarious. And the Watchers just sitting there, just looking at him like, okay. They weren't even saying anything. They were literally doing what they always do. They were watching. Literally watching. But Kang, I don't feel like, I haven't even seen the Quantum movie. I heard it was like horribly bad.
Yes.
It was garbage. Like the only garbage movie Marvel has made so far. And Marvel has come out with hits. I'm sorry. DC wasn't rolling out hits. Marvel was coming out with hit after hit.
Yeah, I found it. My bad to cut you off. Like Grim said, it's Marvel's Earth's Mightiest Heroes, the Avengers. Yeah. So my bad. Go ahead.
Fine. Marvel was coming out with hit after hit after hit after hit after hit. And then they came with this one. And then when I first heard about it, I'm like, okay, this looks like it's going to be good. It's the follow-up after Ant-Man 2. You know, you got a new villain. I'm ready for it, you know. And before I even got a chance to see it, I was told, don't watch it. It's garbage. It's a waste of your time. Don't waste your life on it. And I was like, oh, okay. I guess I'm gonna watch it then.
Yeah.
Now, I want to watch it because I just want to see how much garbage of garbage it is. Like I want to see the steaming pile of garbage with a side of poop and skunk pee that they decided to add into this movie. Like that's what it's been described to me as.
I can
And
give my bad a
you
short
good.
rundown of it. I'm not giving any details on spoilers, to be honest, because when you look at it, it's thinking about it. They talk about the quantum realm and stuff with Ant Man a lot, so it's a good beginning movie to get to know what the quantum realm is. It's just the way that they piled everything onto it. It was like an uneven sandwich. Like the beginning part, I'm not gonna tell you what happens, but they're doing something. And if you've seen Ant Man 2, you know Hank's wife comes back, and Ant Man's daughter is a big part of this new movie, which I don't have a problem with. But when you haven't really had her in any of the other two movies, well, except from the first one, you didn't really have her in the second one, but you have her as a iconic main character in the third movie. A lot of people going to be like, so where the fuck was her little ass at all the other movies? Like, you knew she was in the first one because that's who he was taking, trying to do good for, was his daughter. But then the third one, you have her in there, and she's so fascinated with what her father does. You're like, well, when the hell did this shit happen? And they do something, and then you have you. I know you know about it, Grim. Where you have that one character who just gets antic and be like, "Oh my God, no! You shouldn't do this. Turn this off. Stop! 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 No!" That's what happens in the beginning part of the movie. So you're confused because you're like, "What the hell is going on here? Why is she so frantic? Why is she so like panicking?" And she's like, we've seen it in every single movie when you got that one character that's going to be like, don't do this, turn it off, and don't give an explanation until like the middle of the movie, and you're at that point where like you're like, what the fuck? Like, this is something you should have explained. Did a short little summary right when that shit was happening, not in the middle of the movie where the climax is coming in, and then you're like, this shit is stupid. Like, the way that it goes down, because of certain stuff that happens, Ant-Man gets involved, Kang gets defeated, but it's in the dumbest way possible, for especially for a villain of his caliber. The way he got defeated, I was looking at it on my TV, and I was like, what the fuck kind of bullshit is this? Because for a villain like him
Same thing.
to get defeated, like, no offense to Ant-Man, but for him to get defeated by Ant-Man by himself, well, Ant-Man and the Wasp, by himself with no help from anybody, this King was a joke. And because of how bad the movie flopped, that is why you know a movie's bad when the movie comes out sooner than any other normally a movie comes out. Ant-Man and the Wasp came out in the summertime, and it was out in like less than like 2-3 months on DVD and then on Disney Plus. That's why Marvel is taking their time on their newer movies. I think their next movie's not gonna come out until 2024. It was supposed to be. They had a whole list of movies that was supposed to come out this year, but a lot of them not gonna come out until 2024, 2025 because of what happened with Ant-Man and the Wasp. And then they're also trying to figure out some stuff, because the best movie, to be honest, that came out during that time period was Guardians of the Galaxy 3. Not saying that Black Panther was bad, but people had their their side comments about Black Panther. But out of all the movies that came out for Marvel that year, Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3 was the best one. To everyone, from what I've heard, for everyone said, they said it was the best trilogy movie that they've ever seen. So Marvel is trying to figure out what they have to do to get back to that aspect. But Quantum, doggy poo poo butt. If you want to watch it, then figure out why. Then go ahead and watch it. If you're a Marvel fan, just to say you watch it, but it's not a movie that I would watch again. To be
I'm not
honest,
gonna risk my time watching a movie that will literally waste my time of my life, which is so precious. But every second counts. But I have to make sure that every movie, show, anime, cartoon, whatever it is, it better be good. Because if it's not, I'm causing it. But anyway, I was wondering. So I had to look this up. If you guys are wondering why I was looking down just now, why did Kang become a supervillain? So, from what it says, as the council began building an empire across all of time, one variant came to see this meddling with time as playing like children. As the actions of his other selves were causing chaos to spread across the multiverse, causing endless incursions. He saw the multiverse was on the verge of dying, so he sought out to eliminate them. So, you would think if that is the reason, but then there's another reason. So this is he landed at a point in time when the team has split up. So this King used his know-how to assemble Marvel's young Avengers, opens in a new tag team. Eventually, he realized he must return to his own time and fulfill his destiny and become a villain, or he damaged the time stream even more. So he basically, from what it sounded was like, he basically had no choice to become a villain. So you had two different ways where it says he became a villain and was trying to take over the multiverse and all the time and space because he wanted to be the only one for the first one. I forgot to mention that he actually wanted to be the only Kang throughout the entire multiverse.
mm-hmm.
So that was one, but then on the other hand, it says he started off a hero but had to become a villain to preserve the timeline because otherwise, the time stream and all the timelines, because otherwise everything would collapse in on itself and cause a big kaboom.
Kaboom.
But it's like you're not answering my question. They're not answering my question, guys. They need to answer the question.
If it's dealing with comics, they're never gonna answer the question because they always do a reboot.
Those bastards.
Yeah. So the only certain characters that they really give an exact reason why they do what they do is major villains that's gonna show up like a whole bunch of times, like Thanos, Galactus.
Yeah, because Kang he was one of their major villains. He didn't show up a lot. He was that villain who was just tossed in for the hell of it. Like he was the side hoe. He was the side hooker. He was a side villain that nobody really wanted. But when you didn't have no other choice, you settled with. But kind of jacked up. Like he deserves more. Like he has. I told you, like he has a legion that spans an entire galaxy. I wish I had a legion of people who would listen to what I say and did everything I say, who would expand an entire galaxy. Do you know what I would do with that?
No.
We can move our armada and take over the other galaxies until I take over the universe.
This is why you'll never get that monkey.
What monkey?
Remember you wanted a monkey back in the day?
I still want a monkey.
No.
He thinks I want to make a monkey army, which I am, guys, and I'm going to use it to take over the world, which I am. But that's a different story. Gosh. It's not like I'm going to wipe out humanity or anything. Maybe. Um. Anyway, Kang is literally to me he's an underrated character. He has so much more potential. He has so much raw talent. Granted, he's not like Albert Einstein genius, but he's still a genius in robotic. And that in of itself, it's better than what I can do with robotics because I can't even build a robot. I wish I could. If I could, I have a robot army right about now, but I ain't got time for that.
Oh my god.
I don't know the resources. I can't be doing all that. I don't got time to be go stealing the money and the resources because I ain't got time for all. But I don't know how to do. But I don't know how to do robots anyway, so I ain't got time for all of that.
You
But
don't
anyway,
need it.
Kang, huh?
You don't need it.
Lies and slander. Kang is an underrated character, and he always will be. And I feel like Marvel needs to literally give him more. Like, whenever I heard Kang the Conqueror, before I knew who he was, before I read his backstory and the stuff he's done, like I always thought Kang was like this big cosmic celestial entity who, like, you know, just like any other celestial that's in the Marvel universe, manipulated time and space and made life and everything else like that. Like I thought he was one of those types of characters, and it turns out like you're not about you barely became a number two. Like you're a C minus Tony Stark. Like and it's sad because that's how Marvel portrays him. Like he comes off as a C minus Tony Stark. Like yeah, Tony Stark will always be better than you.
Mm-hmm.
Like and it's sad because like he's not like I said he's not a direct descendant of Reed Richards. But like you're related to Reed Richards for Christ's sake. Show some backbone. Show some spirit as a genius. Like
And what I want to say, don't knock Reed. Don't knock Reed Richards. Just because the Fantastic Four aren't as popular as the Avengers and all that, when it comes to Marvel, Reed is number 2. Tony is the first. Reed is number 2. Spider-Man is number 3. Hank Pym is number 4. So Reed is intelligently smart. It's just because of everyone's lifestyles that they have in Marvel. Tony is number 1 because he can jump to any one of their lifestyles without even having to read a book or know what he's doing. He just needs to know the understanding of what's going on, and Tony can already have an idea.
He's the true Rick of the he's the true Rick of the Marvel universe.
Yeah, so Tony, like he just said, Tony Stark is the Rick of the Marvel universe. Like, cause Fantastic Four deals with Reed Richards deals with that cosmic star more so trying to get everyone there back to being normal. Spider-Man is just as on par with Tony Stark in his intelligence, but like Tony said, Spider-Man has a moral compass. Iron Man doesn't really have a moral compass. If he sees that he can get to his goals, he will do it, but he will feel bad about whatever it does. Like, we'll talk more about Iron Man if people want a brief history on Iron Man, but if we was to ever do an Iron Man video, I'm letting you know now, that's going to be maybe like a 2 or 3 parter, because Iron Man got too much to talk about from his life.
To what age?
Yeah, that would be a 3-parter video. It would be from the beginning, middle, into the end, and yeah. So, but like Grim said, for Kang to be a related to Reed, he doesn't he doesn't show that backbone that Reed has. Because Reed has went up against Tony, and their brains have just collided, and even Tony was like, if Reed was doing something else, he'll be just as on par as Tony Stark.
Say he doesn't have the backbone because he, like I said, he studies gene therapy. Like he's branched off into many different versions of science, and over his years of being Kang the Conqueror. Now, he's not immortal or anything, guys, but because he's able to manipulate time, it's like his body's always stuck in a in a
Infinite loop.
yeah, it's basically always stuck in an infinite loop without putting him in a mental stasis. And I think that comes from his suit. I don't know if that's just comes from the usage or it's because he's always wearing it. I don't know. I can't tell you.
Always wearing
But
it.
oh, excuse me, this guy's sorry it's late, so I'm a little I'm a little tired, but we're almost done with the video. Um, he he keeps himself young enough to rule an entire galaxy. Now, remind you, he himself has to take over an entire galaxy. I don't care how skilled you are in robotics. I don't care how advanced you make your technology. It's gonna take you at least. I mean, even in the Marvel universe, they're not like going that fast. Like I said, Thor, yeah, Thor can travel from one end of the universe to another in under a minute. Like, so we're not gonna, you know, yeah, but excuse me, but we're not gonna. I forgot where I was going with this. See, that's what happens when you're tired, ladies and gentlemen. That happens when you are tired. I'm sorry, when you work at a high school. Um. Anyway, like I said, he's it's not that he doesn't have any backbone or anything like that. It's just because he studies gene manipulation. He branches off into all different types of stuff. So he knows the stuff. It's just I feel like when I say he needs to like show some initiative, like if you've already conquered a galaxy, you know that and you've taken out the Avengers, like, and I don't mean like he's just beat the Avengers. I mean he's taken out mafioso style, like he's had them murked, like either he done it himself or had somebody do it for him. Like he's taken them out, all of them, Tony Stark included. So if he's done that, why is it so like I don't understand? Especially since he can manipulate time to the point where he's always in like a time spaces stasis bubble, which keeps his body young because he has had to go for a very long time, like at least. Oh, okay. Now I was going with it. Now I was going with it. Back to what I was saying about Thor. So, like I said, Thor he can travel with under a second, but like, there's not going to be any starship that's going to be able to travel or converse an entire galaxy that fast. I mean, it's going to take them at least weeks, and then remind you to have the resources that he needs for his empire to grow vastly over an entire galaxy. That's going to take some years, even with their level of technology. That's going to take years. That's not something you're just going to like, oh, hey, let me go conquer the galaxy. I down in a week. No. Like, even with time manipulation, no. So it's like, I don't know. I just feel like, well, no, with time manipulation, I would say it's possible to do it, but that depends on how you do it. Like, you would have to manipulate your army to his. He would have to manipulate his army to teleport to all these specific sort of points in time when these places are at their weakest or their most vulnerable in order to easily conquer them, in order for him to conquer the whole galaxy simultaneously. But even then, that's still a stretch because he has to connect to billions of different ships going to billions of different worlds in order to send them all to these different worlds in our galaxy. And excuse me, just the fact that we have billions in our galaxy alone, like it's that's untapped potential to be used for his comic books, for movies. Like he is someone that they need to use. Like Marvel, please bring more Kang and do him justice, do him right. Do you see this man, Marvel? You made a genius. You guys made a genius. Stan Lee, Mr. Kirby, please let them know you guys made a genius of a villain and he could be so much more, but I feel like they're holding him back with the movies. I get that because of continuity situations or because of copyright issues or whatever the case may be. They're not going to, whoever makes the Marvel movies, I think it's Disney, right? It's Disney, ain't it?
Disney.
They don't have full rights to, you know, go by the whole comic books. So I get that, but like, I would like at least one or at least a few of their movies to actually go by what the comic book says with the character. Because, like I said, Kang, if the movie's quantum is as bad as they say, that's untapped potential. That's wasted potential in my book. So Kang deserves more respect, guys. He conquered a galaxy. Come on, he's not Frieza level, but he's darn near up there. Gosh darn it.
Not what you saying it like that.
So that's pretty much what we all got to probably say about Kang. Do you have anything else to add about Kang? I mean, I don't have much.
Not much. Not really. No.
Yeah, I think that's about it, guys. Because it's he he's not an extensive character. Like they gave him a good background by where he came from and stuff like that, but it's untapped potential. I feel like they need to make Kang a cosmic entity. Like something happens, and I mean, I'm not going to put him on Galactus level, but we'll at least consider him up there with Silver Surfer, maybe. At least that far. Or Nova, the other herald of Galactus. We'll put him on that level at least. But
that reminds me, I still need to finish watching that Death Battle.
I'll talk about that one later. But
sorry.
Sorry, guys, but yeah, that's about all we have on Kang. If you guys have anything else you think we left out, please let us know in the comments. Please don't hesitate to let us know how we can make our channel better for you guys. Please like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell to be updated on any new videos we have coming out. And we'll see you guys later.
See ya.
See ya.
Where's the thingy? I keep on forgetting I need to always hit that first.